Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Mikey here from Edexcel Maths Guide EMG, helping you to get that A-star in A-level maths. Today we're going to be having a look at some Core 1 maths. Specifically today I'm going to give you a walkthrough guide of the second exercise in Chapter 1, Exercise 1B. I'll also be explaining exactly what I'm thinking as I work through the problems and what you need to be thinking about when you see questions like these in the exam. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with the latest news so that we can get you that good result in A-level maths. Let's get started. Now, I will assume that you've already had a lesson on the subject 1.2 that you can simplify expressions and functions using rules of indices, and I will move straight to the exercises in 1B. If you hadn't had that lesson yet, or if you didn't understand it and you want a bit of a revision session on the topic, then comment that down below and I'll make you guys a video explaining this section. To complete exercise 1B, you need to know these 6 indice rules that I put in red in the top right hand corner. Now you will need to remember these for the C1 exam, but if you do enough questions, they just stick in your head automatically. Right then, here we go, question 1. We have to simplify x cubed times x to the power 4. Now with this we can use the very first rule of indices at the top right hand corner, and it's x to the power of 3 plus 4, which equals x to the power of 7. Question 2, much like question 1, we just have to simplify 2x cubed times 3x squared. Now this one, exactly the same rules as the last one. We use the very top indices rule over there. The only difference is we have 2 and 3 times in. So we rewrite it 2 times 3 times x. Now remember, we add the powers when we're timesing. So it's 3 plus 2. This can be simplified, it's xx to the power of 5. Question 3 here, we use the second rule down with the dividing of indices. Now first we write 4 over 2 just to get the numbers out of the way. Then we deal with the p's. Now when you've got 2p, with the p's by itself, that's essentially the same as writing p to the power of 1. So when we have the p's, we do 3 minus, because it's divide, and 1. This simplifies, 4 divided by 2 is just 2, and p, 3 minus 1 is 2. 2p squared. For question 4, we have 3x to the power of minus 4 divided by x to the power of minus 2. Now because it's divided, we use the second rule down, the second one of our indices rules over there. We write 3, then we deal with the x's, so we have x to the power of minus 4 minus, because it's divide, minus 2. It's very important to not get muddled with that, so writing it out, make sure you don't screw it up. So it's 3x to the power of minus 2. Question 5, we have k cubed divided by k to the power of minus 2. So once again it's dividing, so we use the second rule down on the right hand side. And we do k to the power of 3 minus, because we're dividing, remember, minus 2. Now 2 minuses make a positive, so it ends up k, 3 plus 2, k to the power of 5. Question 6, we have open brackets y squared, close brackets to the power of 5. Now with this one we use the third rule down when we have brackets and indices, and that means we times the two powers together. So it's y to the power of 2 times by 5. 2 times 5 is 10, so the answer is y to the power of 10. Question 7 here, we have 10x to the power of 5 divided by 2x to the power of minus 3. So we're dividing again, so we're going to use the second rule down on the right hand side. First of all, we'll deal with the numbers, so 10 divided by 2, or we can just put 10 over 2 here. Then we'll deal with the x's, so x to the power of 5 minus, because you can divide, minus 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, so the answer is 5x to the power of 8. Question 8 gets a bit more tricky. We have open brackets p cubed, close brackets squared, divided by p to the power of 4. Now this one, we're going to deal with the brackets first. Remember bod maths, we always deal with the brackets first. So we're going to use the third rule down of our indices rules. And that means we times the 3 and the 2 together, so it makes p to the power of 6. And we just put p to the power of 4 down again. Now, because we've got a dividing, we use the second rule down of our indices rules. So it's p to the power of 6 minus 4, because we're dividing. 6 minus 4 is 2. The answer is p squared. Question 9, we have open brackets 2a cubed, close brackets all squared, divided by 2a cubed. Now this one, once again, we're going to deal with the brackets first because of bod maths, so that's the third rule down. Now remember, we've got the 2 in the brackets as well, so we have to square that as well. So we have 2 squared, and a to the power of 3 times 2, divided by 2a cubed, you just bring that down. 2 squared is 4, 3 times 2 is a to the power of 6, divided by the 2a cubed, bring that through again. Now we'll use the second rule down because we're dividing. We do the 4 divided by 2 is just 2. A to the power of 6, take away 3 is just 3. 2a cubed. Question 10, we have 8p to the power of minus 4 divided by 4p cubed. Now this is a simple one going back to the earlier questions, we're just dividing, so we use the second rule down of our indices rules. So we do 8 divided by 4 is just 2, and p to the power of minus 4 minus 3, because we're dividing. Simplifying that again, we have 2p to the power of minus 7. Question 11, we have 2a to the power of minus 4 times by 3a to the power of minus 5. This one, a simple one, referring back to the earlier questions, we're just going to use the first rule in our indices powers because we're timesing. So we'll do 2 times 3, which is 6, a to the power of minus 4 plus minus 5, so that's minus 4 minus 5. Simplifying that again, we have 6a to the power of minus 9. Question 12 may look a bit more complicated, but don't worry, it's exactly the same principle. We have 21a cubed b squared divided by 7ab to the power of 4. Now with these we can just deal with the individual units. We will be using the second rule down because we are dividing. Second one of our indices rules. Let's first deal with the numbers. 21 divided by 7. Now we'll deal with the letter a. So we have a to the power of 3. And because we're dividing, we take away a to the power of 1, so we just take away 1. Dealing with the b's, we have b to the power of 2 minus, because we're dividing, and then the 4. Simplifying this, 21 divided by 7 is just 3. 3 minus 1 is a to the power of 2, and 2 minus 4 makes b to the power of minus 2. Question 13, we have 9x squared times 3, open brackets x squared, close brackets cubed. Now with this one we'll deal with the brackets first because of BODMAS, and we'll use the third rule down of our indices rules. We'll just bring the 9x squared down. Now we deal with the brackets. We have 3, it's outside the brackets so we don't cube it. Now with the x, remember we times the indices together, so it's 2 times 3, which is 6. Now we use the first rule of our indices because it's just like a simple equation. We have 9 times 3, which makes 27, x to the power of 2 plus 6, which is 8. Question 14, we have 3x cubed times 2x squared times 4x to the power of 6. Now with this it looks like we have like 3 sections here, but we treat it in exactly the same way. Now you could do this by dealing with the 3x cubed times the 2x squared first and then timesing it all by 4x to the power of 6, which is a viable way to do it, and I'd recommend doing that in an exam because you're less likely to make a mistake. However, I'm just going to do them all in one go. So we have 3 times 2 times 4 is 24. Dealing with the x's, we have x to the power of 3 plus 2 plus 6, which equals 11. Moving on to question 15 now, we have 7a to the power of 4 times by open brackets 3a to the power of 4, close brackets, all squared. Now with this one we're going to deal with the brackets first because of BODMAS, so we're going to use the third rule down in our indices rules. So we're going to have, first of all we must remember to square the 3 as well because it's inside the bracket, so 3 squared is 9, a to the power of, and we times the indices because it's a brackets, 4 times 2 is 8. Now using the first rule like we do on many of the other questions beforehand, 7 times 9 is 63, a to the power of 4 plus 8 is 12, 63 a to the power of 12. Question 16 is open brackets 4y cubed, close brackets, all cubed, divided by 2y cubed. Now, exactly the same as the last question, we're going to deal with the brackets first. So we're going to cube the 4 and cube the y cubed. And we're going to use the third rule down in our indices rule to help us cube the y cubed. 4 to the power of 3 is just 64. Y to the power of 3 all cubed. We times the indices together, so it's y to the power of 9. Bring the 2y cubed down. Now we use the second rule of our indices rules just to simplify this. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Y to the power of 9 divided by y to the power of 3 is y to the power of 6. Question 17, we have 2a cubed divided by 3a squared times 6a to the power of 5. Now, much like question 14, we have 3 sections in this, and you can do it whichever way you want. I'm just going to do them all together again because just to show you that you can do it. So we'll write it as 2 times 6 all divided by 3. That gets rid of the numbers side. Now with a we have 3 minus 2 because we're dividing by the 2, plus 6 because we're timesing by the, plus 5 because we're timesing by the a to the power of 5. Simplifying this, 2 times 6 is 12 divided by 3 is 4, 3 minus 2 plus 5 is 6, 4a to the power of 6. Question 18, last but not least, we have another 3 section problem, 3a to the power of 4 times 2a to the power of 5 times a to the power of 3. Doing this all together, using the numbers first, 3 times 2 is just 6, And with the A's, because we're timing them all together, we add the indices, like it shows on rule 1 of our indices rule on the top right hand corner. So A to the power of 4 plus 5 plus 3. Simplifying this, the 3 and the 2 times together to make 6. 4 plus 5 plus 3 gives us A to the power of 12. Thank you for watching this YouTube video in my C1 walkthrough series. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful, give me a thumbs up on this video and make sure you subscribe to keep updated of when my content is released. You can click the little bell by the side of the subscription button to receive notifications. If you support my project, then subscribing will really help me to attract more audiences and to grow. If you have any questions on a video today, or you want me to change the format of how I'm creating the videos, comment that down below and I'll look into it. If you want me to cover anything in particular, I can make a video explaining any problems that you have. Have a great week, subscribe, and let's get that A star in maths.